Lloyd, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good, good, good. Got some things I want to go over with you, talk to you about some new developments in your career. You've made some changes.
I've made a lot of changes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you pleased with where you are right now in your career?
I'm happier than I've ever been.
Yeah?
I'm happy to say that I worked out my own release, and I am very optimistic about the future.
Well, I'm a little curious about why you decided to walk away from Irv Gotti and the Ink. You've been with them for 5 years, and you put the word out that you wanted off the label. What prompted your decision to leave?
Well, ever since I signed, I was completely dedicated to trying to make good music, something that's worth hearing, and just trying to work with this rubble that I was given and build something out of it.
The rubble being?
Being the current state of the label when I first arrived.
Okay.
I really didn't have too much to work with, so I came in and tried to change things around a bit, and really focus on just making good, solid music. Right after the release of Southside, my debut album, and before the release of my sophomore album, the label itself had no distribution, and I was forced to record my own music with my own money, with my own friends.
While you were signed to the label?
While I was still under contract, yes.
Okay.
All I had was me and my management and my friends here in Atlanta. And we tried to really create a buzz around the industry with a song called You, featuring Lil Wayne. This was a song that I needed to be released at the time because Hurricane Katrina had just come through New Orleans and devastated everything. And most, if not all, of my family was misplaced. So I not only was yearning to get back in the game, but I needed the income I needed to be able to be active for my family. And at the time, I had no support from my label. I was advised to not release these records, and sometimes my phone calls wouldn't be returned.
Why didn't they want you to release the records? Were they working other projects at the time?
Well, I just think that people have their own motives, and the reasons for it is something that I can't dwell on. I only focus on my situation, and my situation was telling me to release these records. So, without their consent, I chose to release my first single on my own, and it took off. It became a big summer song, and based off of the success of this record, Irv and the Ink was able to go out and find distribution through Universal, which in return kind of forced me to stay where I was.
Okay, but even then you were already
against my will, yes.
Thinking that you wanted to get off the label.
Yes.
So other than that, I mean, were there other issues that were nagging you about Irv or about the label or about your label mates? I mean,
it wasn't so much personal as it was business. I've learned to separate the two, and sometimes in this business there is no friendship. Bottom line. The sad thing is that a lot of young acts come in to the game very early without knowledge or without a guidance in their lives, and they fall a victim to the glitz and the glam. And I always try to look past that and keep my eye on the prize, which was becoming a great artist and really making music history one way or another. Unfortunately, there were times when I felt like I was the only one that was dedicated to this goal. I look around and there would be no one else making music. I would have no supporting cast. And I would go to the studio and there would be no beats in the computer. Only beats from a year ago. Very outdated kind of sounding material. And, here I am basically with my hands dirty. I'm trying to build this rubble of a label into something again.
Well, why didn't you just sit down with Gotti and outline your grievances
to him?
I have.
Okay. Now, mind you that at the time, I was only 20, you know, and here he is, a veteran in the game. So, you know, initially having this conversation bothered me because I didn't know how it would be taken, but it was something that was necessary.
What did he say?
He basically shoved me off, you know, like whatever, just pushed me to the side and just basically said that, you know, this is something that is my problem and not his. And that contractually, I am signed to his company and I have no choice in the matter.
So what did you do after receiving that kind of response?
Well, there was really so much I could do besides just bury myself in my work, you know, but to have a relationship with someone initially that feels genuine and almost feels brotherly, and then to have a challenge present itself that forces that person's character to show their true colors. It's always surprising, you know. It's something that it was not expected, you know, but there's no need to cry over spilled or spoiled milk.